In my spare time, I try my best to kind of like learn things and like figure stuff out. But the thing is, I also be wanting to talk about the stuff that I learn, but it's always hard for me to kind of just sort of talk about it because first off, I ramble, and secondly, I ramble, I generalize, and I get annoyed when people be like, "Well, you're wrong." I don't mind being wrong about certain things, but there's a difference between being told that I'm wrong and being corrected. You know what I mean? It's like there's people who are on the internet, and I feel like they actively go on the internet to look for people to just disagree with, just so they can feel better about themselves. And those people always love to pop up just to be like, "You're wrong about everything. It actually is because of this." So I don't really, so I don't talk about it that much. But I just want to go ahead and take this time to point out if you're one of those people and you come across my video because you got triggered by the title, just bear in mind I don't claim any expertise. I'm just going off of what I personally researched. If what I personally researched is incorrect, you don't have to be obnoxious about it. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and explain the stuff that I learned about why there's so many electricity based black superheroes in thing. First off, there aren't that many. It's not a lot. It's not as much as you think. Like there is only like maybe a few. And even then, it's like, it's kind of weird that like people just mean because like here's the thing. Black Lightning was made by Tony Isabella, and it was the first. It was DC's first black superhero. Okay, that was initially what it was going to be. DC's first black superhero was Black Lightning, and a lot of people who was reading Black Lightning, well, he was either the first black superhero or the first black superhero to get his own like series on his own. Either way, Black Lightning is like still considerably a milestone for DC Comics. And in the process, a lot of people who was reading DC Comics was thoroughly impressed by the writing. And I mean, well, probably thoroughly impressed. Just was just glad to be able to see that they were being represented in some fashion. Because this was like in 70, I don't know, like what, 72 or something. To put this in perspective, Black Panther is considered one of comics earliest black superheroes. There are others probably before him and around the time as him, but he was one of the ones that was early, that's recognized, and he debuted in, if I'm not mistaken, 1966, and then you had Luke Cage in 1969, I want to say. In any case though, so you were starting to get more and more like variety. But the thing about Black Panther was, I'm pretty sure the common creates, like, I wasn't around in that time, but I'm pretty sure the common criticism for Black Panther is he doesn't have superpowers, his superpower is just money. You know what I'm saying? Some people was probably like, and people were probably like talking about that. And in the case of Luke Cage, it was like he's just a superpowered gangster. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like you had that, because you know how critics are. Critics, like critics are the laziest minds in all of fiction, because all they wait for other people to create things so they can hate it. And it's like if nobody creates anything, they literally starve, whatever. But but like then you had this other character who had a superpower that wasn't super strength or being bulletproof. He actually had, like, he could do this and something happened. You know what I'm saying? So like but and also he was the first. He was early in DC Comics. Now the thing is that like apparently the Super Friends show was going to be like being made on was going to be the thing on like Hanna Barbera, whatchamacallit, and in the process of Hanna Barbera bringing them in, the idea was to bring in Black Lightning into the show. But in order to do that, they would have to pay Tony Isabella. And instead of paying Tony Isabella, they just basically said, we'll just make our own character. And Tony Isabella actually like released a chapter in the series based on this, where he established a fake Black Lightning, and basically like a con artist was trying to steal some jewel or something, and he established a fake Black Lightning to show that he was better than the real Black Lightning, and it didn't really work. And not only that, but the fake Black Lightning and the real Black Lightning actually like like displayed a brotherhood that you probably would never even see in that kind of scenario nowadays. And it was like the dude, while he didn't have superpowers, shoulder tackled an elephant. I still think that that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And also, it ended with quite possibly one of the best displays of black solidarity I've ever seen. So that's definitely like it's definitely something worth reading. It was very beautiful because it could have easily went, yeah, take your fake behind up out of here and go but instead it didn't do that. It went a completely different direction, a better direction than probably what any fan would have probably like been able to do. But I digress. I'm rambling. But the fact of the matter is that like they didn't want to pay Tony Isabella for to put Black Lightning on the show. So basically, so they said they was going to make their own, and they established a character named Black Vulcan, who, by the way, is not that bad of a character himself. I'm pretty sure if you fleshed him out, you could actually make him into something decent. And I'm not going to say he's a fake Black Lightning and he ducks. That's stupid. Um, so, but they made their own version of Black Lightning. Isabella got upset, and that's kind of what happened. So you had Black Lightning in the comics and Black Vulcan on the TV show. And not only that, but I'm pretty sure as time went by, more people were actually becoming more inspired to see Black Lightning and Black Vulcan and stuff like that to actually create their own things. So, I mean, because like I don't know the origin story of Static on Milestone, but it could have just been a coincidence that he had lightning powers, or it could have just been some dude just saw Black Lightning and was like, you know what, I'm gonna make that. That's cool. I like that. But that's cool. I like that. What would happen if I made him younger, right? So that was kind of like how it went down. But also, like I said, you look back, there's not a whole bunch of lightning based black superheroes. And also, in contrast, there's also a bunch of black superheroes that don't have lightning powers. So it's just kind of but so the whole, so the fact that that question has become such a staple in like black culture is actually kind of ridiculous because first off, it's basically people just like trying to make it seem like, oh, there's lacking in variety of black culture and black superheroes because all they want to do is give us all lightning powers when that's not true. There's a lot of characters that are doing a lot of stuff. And and it's like, for other people it's just, that's a funny joke. I better go ahead and say it again for I'm gonna hold on to this joke and hold on to it for next year. So that was the thing that I just kind of don't like either. But yeah, that's kind of what ultimately like led into it. It was just basically a case of like people were just sort of like you were introduced to this idea of you were introduced to him first. And some people imitate it out of inspiration, and some people sort of made it a caricature because of how they assume that that was a staple in our community when in reality it isn't. You know what I mean? It's just some people are trying to tell a joke, make it as a joke, and other people just fell for the joke. But yeah, that's ultimately what but that's what led down into it. I mean, like you could even say like, the story of the Orishas with Shango and his thunder hammer, right? Which obviously people are going to be like, oh, you mean Thor? No, I don't mean Thor, because there is a whole there's a whole thing about like, is Thor a ripoff of Shango? And it's like, I don't want to say a ripoff because people get inspired to do things. You know what I'm saying? I would like, people do get inspired to do things. That's like saying Goku is a ripoff of Naruto. But I'm staring off here. But yeah, that's basically what happened. You know, Black Lightning was introduced. He got shafted out of a show appearance on a TV series, so they made another character. And in the process, people just got inspired to probably create that because they wanted to do something similar to that because it was monumental for them. I hope that answers the question, and I hope that that's the right answer because I'm expecting a handful of comments, if any, that's going to be like, actually, no, that's not what happened. What you mean to say was did, and then just like do an entire, like just basically copy and paste the entire Wikipedia article or something. I don't know. It's like I'd rather it be simple and generic because it's not really that complicated. So yeah, I hope that this made sense. Thanks for watching. Love and peace.